Okay, so in this third video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the development cycle for PHP, for a PHP program. I'm going to show you everything from the very start to the very beginning, very start to the very end, including how to upload it, how to run the program. Okay, so I'm going to start with a blank screen and show you everything in between. So first of all, open Dreamweaver, because this is our HTML CSS editing tool. We're always going to need it. You see here I have my site defined, and here's my local view, and here's my remote view. Okay, so right now we'll stick with the local view. Now I'm going to open Eclipse. So when you open Eclipse, the first thing it's going to do is going to ask you what folder you want to work in, and what you want to do is you want to work in your webs folder, wherever it is. For you, your webs folder is going to be on your Z drive, and somewhere in your Z drive, make sure it's pointing to the webs folder. Right? Click on Browse, click on Computer. In my case here, I click on my Documents, or Documents. All right, and Webs. In your case, you're going to click on Z and Webs. Okay, so click OK once you've done that. Now, Eclipse is a GUI as well. It's a graphical user interface, just like the one you see behind in Dreamweaver. The difference is Dreamweaver is geared mostly for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Eclipse is geared completely for PHP. Well, this version of Eclipse is for PHP. There's many different Eclipse GUIs, one for each major language, like C and Java or what have you. All right. So in this welcome screen, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, and then and here you have your Eclipse window. This is your file navigator. In this case here, the file navigator is located on your left. In Dreamweaver, your file navigator is located on your right. Okay. In the middle here is your development area, right? And just like in Dreamweaver, your middle here is your programming area. So in Eclipse, what we're going to do is we're going to go File, New, PHP Project, and we're going to call it Hello World 1. 01. Alright, click on Next, click on Next, click on Finish. So here's my project. Alright, now you can see if you go to Dreamweaver in local view, you can see that you can see what the Eclipse has already done. Create a folder here for me. Okay, so in this case here, I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna right click this. I'm gonna go New PHP file. I'm gonna call this one Hello world.01.php. Okay, so here's my file, and I'm going to go question mark, close bracket, and in between here and here, I'm going to go echo hello world, my first PHP program, and semicolon. Right, and then I'm going to save it. So that's it. I created a project in in Eclipse, and in that project I have my program, and the program does one simple little thing, and that is echo hello world. Okay, that is repeat hello world basically. So now how do I run it? So what I want to do is to run it, I need to somehow get it into here. Okay, I need to somehow get it into here. Now how do I do that? Well, what I could do, the easiest way to do it is open up your index.php, and what we're going to do is we're going to use index.php to link into this file here. So I'm going to link this file to this one. So when I click on this link, just like you would in any website, it's going to open this file. So how do I do that? Well, first of all, let's delete this. Don't need it. Actually, we'll just delete this whole thing. We don't really need it. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this file, I'm going to drag it inside of here. All right. So here's my link, and here it even put some text in there for me. Right. So I save it. I go back into my local host, run it, and as you can see, it doesn't run. All right. It doesn't run. Well, why doesn't it run? Quite simply because I didn't upload it yet. Now in this case here, instead of uploading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, I'm just going to click in here. I'm going to upload the entire site. Okay, upload the entire site. Okay, and in here, if you refresh it again, here it is. Now if I want to run that program, I click on it, and here's my program that I run. Exactly what I've exactly what I've told it to do. Okay, and that's how you run and link a PHP program. All right. So in other words, your index.php is going to be your main file. Is going to link to all the other. PHP files. Okay. For each PHP program you write, you're going to have a new folder. All right. So all your PHP programs will be in folders, and to run them, you're simply going to link them all inside your inside of here. Alternatively, instead of doing it this way, what I could have done is I could have gone open bracket A. I could have done it by hand. href equals, all right, and then browse. Hello world PHP, all right, close bracket, and then run hello world 01. All right, I could have done that, but of course it's a lot more work. So so in other words, this index.php is going to be your start page. Okay. So again, quick review. You start Eclipse. You tell Eclipse to use your webs folder as a development folder. When it asks you in the very beginning, okay, it's going to look like this, right? Make sure it goes to your Z webs folder. You create a new project in PHP. You create a new project in Eclipse, and inside the project, you create a new PHP file or program. Eclipse is going to create a folder, okay, and to run that program, you need to link this file to the program that you're running. Then you can see it. Then you can see it running, and then you could go to double click in here, all right, and you'll see your whatever you've written, if it runs or not, or if there's an error, okay. And again, this is the start page that links to all your other programs. You can get pretty fancy with this page here. You could add colors, you could add table, text, image, graphics, whatever you want. All kinds of things, fancy things moving around, icons. It's a web page. You could have complete creative control of what you want to do with it. All right. Okay, so what I want to show you is this is basically my start page. So if you go back to Dreamweaver, you know, this is what my index page looks like. I got dozens and dozens. I got like tons of examples. I have an example here, an explanation of when I did. What I could have here is kind of an example. I could have a date, and then I could have a description of what I did here. I got many sample programs of all the projects that I'm working on. And yours is going to eventually look like this. I sorted mine out into nice little tables. You know, added a little bit of color. Well, not really, but I could go very fancy in this, and that's how you do it, right? So from here on, what you can do is you can go to YouTube, scour the internet. I want you to do as much PHP programming as possible. I don't care if you copy and paste a program or watch a tutorial. Watch a tutorial and on YouTube, and then repeat it. Copy it from a book. Copy it from the book. The more the more you do, the more you're going to get used to it. All right. So from this point, as much PHP programming as you could possibly handle from whatever sources you want. Okay. Thanks for listening.